Welcome to the Fit and Free Show. I'm Angel, your hostess with the mostest. Uh, it's late night edition here in the Head Hutt, and as you can see, I'm still nursing a wounded elbow, my bursa, which is the sac that protects joints. My elbow bursa suddenly swelled up and ruptured. I didn't even know that could happen. Did you? Uh, Most of us, I think, didn't. In any case, I mean, usually you injure yourself first, and apparently I'd been injuring myself for a while, and then my body had just had enough. And that has led me to do a lot of reflecting on better listening to the body, even though I thought I was taking time to do that regularly. Apparently, not very well. It's always easier to see things in hindsight. So, of course, in hindsight, I can see many places in the last segment of time that I did not listen very well, where it's clear to me, again, with hindsight, that my body was talking to me about how I was not treating my arms very lovingly. And a tool that I ran into recently that I'm finding very helpful, which I will give credit to my favorite coach Chandler Stevens for this tool, and it's in the category of 2-minute tools, which are my favorites, and it is 2 questions. 2 minutes is an approximation, but those 2 questions are to ask yourself how you're doing, like how am I doing, and just tap into that for a couple of breaths or a few minutes or at least a few seconds. Like, check in with yourself. How are you doing? Ask yourself that. How am I doing? And then listen for an answer, and then the follow-up question to that, to take you a little more deeply and somatically into that, is how do I know? Like, what clues are you getting from your body, from the external and internal world, from your experience? What is it that's leading you to that conclusion about how you are? I find that pair of questions very useful for bringing me into a state of awareness with some space around it, a perspective of looking at myself, and also looking at myself. So it kind of brings me out of my body with more space to look at myself from the outside, and at the same time into my body to really feel into where I'm being supported by my chair, by my feet, how my body is feeling, whether my bones hurt like they often do, which I tend to push out of my awareness because I'm used to it. However, in light of this most recent injury in my life, and reflecting on the sum of my life up to now at age 50, which is all moments of life are maybe an exaggeration. I tend to exaggerate sometimes. Anyway, many moments in life are good for reflecting on your life. Age 50 certainly seems like a especially good one, so I've been doing lots of that this year. And under that umbrella, in that arena, are questions like these and practices like this. So asking myself how I'm doing, reflecting on how I know how I'm doing. And I would add to that, which is a little more time consuming, but having right now I do a morning pages as suggested by The Artist's Way by Julia. Oh gosh, her last name is escaping me. That book just had its 25-year anniversary. A very popular and well cherished book for good reason that I have recently been reading, and I say recently, slowly is what I meant. Anyhow, it's late. Did I mention? Um, my point is that I have a routine of writing in the mornings lately, a habit and a routine. And within that routine, I check in with my body and do a little numerical 1 to 5 scale check on several aspects. Um, how it's like right now I've been tracking my elbow, so there's tracking special things, and then there's general tracking, like I give my mind, my body, and my spirit a 1 to 5 score, basically, which is my own personal method for checking in with myself, and also for documenting and tracking that over time, so that over time I can see patterns and correlations, or um, if I've had the same, like if I'm feeling bad in a certain way for a long period of time, that's something to give my attention to. Now, I say that, and it's interesting. I've had what I call bone fire, that I've been tracking for a long time. I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis at age 12 or so. So for nearly 40 years, I have experienced bone fire to a notable degree. And in the last few years that I've been, well, it's only this year, I guess, that I've been tracking it in this specific way, as correlating with my work with the Artist Way, 25-year anniversary. I got that edition, yeah, as a gift for myself for my 50th birthday. Anyhow, in doing that, it's come to my awareness the value of that. And so, gosh, this is taking me a long time to spit out. I think I will be adding those 2 questions. How am I doing? And how do I know how I'm doing? To that routine. I also have another routine of writing at night. I have many, it's a land of many routines these days, isn't it? This is my newest little book. I love notebooks, and writing has always been a part of my life. I find it valuable on many levels. So in this book, my Make Today Amazing little cheapo book that I got because of the color, I, every night before I wrap up the night, write myself an affirmation about a page or so, however much I feel inspired to do. But this is a place where I don't work on things, necessarily in the same way. Here's a notebook, for example, where I work on some art project ideas that I have. So I do different things in different notebooks. In this one, I write affirmations, which I then read out loud to myself the following day. And so perhaps the point of all that is that perhaps in some other place I will find a place in my routine where I do the how am I and how do I know that's how I am questions for myself. I think it's valuable to just be able to do that, as Chandler Stevens mentions that he does before any client. It's a good self-check to do in a short, under 2-minute kind of fashion, and I will add it to my 2-minute toolbox, which I'm working on. But I also think could be a valuable tool to add to, like, my morning pages in a little bit of more lengthy context, or a lengthy version, where I not only ask myself, how am I and how do I know how I am, but then I take a little bit of time to check in with my body, check in with my surroundings, my kitchen, perhaps, where I usually do my morning pages, or wherever I am, if I'm traveling. So that I'm just babbling about some ideas that I have there. Mostly I wanted to present that tool because I think it's valuable as a way of self-checking, and then self-regulating, which is what this channel and this show is largely about. So there you go. Let me know if you have any questions or comments in the questions and comments section. check out the description if you want to connect with me in other ways, or if you want to support me, which I greatly do appreciate. You can find links to various ways you can do that over there. My kitty friend has just jumped up into the light. That's what that shadow is about. Anyhow, I thank you for stopping by. I hope that you're remembering to take good care of you and find ways of checking in and regulating that work best for you. And I encourage you to share those with me, with the group here, or in whatever ways work for you. Don't forget to breathe and smile. And I'll be seeing you. Peace.